Hello friends, welcome back. Today we'll be taking a journey through time to explore the rich history of Palestine from ancient times to its modern struggles. You will discover how this small piece of land became one of the most important religious sites in the world, housed in some of the holiest places in Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. Turn on notifications so you never miss out on any of our upcoming videos. You will also see how the region fell under foreign rulers, saw the birth of Israel, and became the site of ongoing conflicts between Israelis and Palestinians. Join us as we explore this fascinating country and learn about its people, culture, and history. They also established colonies throughout the region, which attracted settlers from other parts of their empire. However, by the 7th century, Muslim Arabs conquered the region and made Jerusalem an important center of Islamic worship. Both structures are still standing today and are among the holiest sites in Islam. The Crusaders established a kingdom in the region, but it was short-lived and they were eventually driven out by the Mamluk dynasty from Egypt. During this time, the region was relatively peaceful and prosperous. The Ottomans implemented a policy of religious tolerance, which allowed Jews, Christians, and Muslims to practice their faith freely. They also invested in infrastructure projects such as roads and bridges, which facilitated trade and commerce. Additionally, the Ottomans established a system of local governance, which gave Palestinians a degree of autonomy in managing their own affairs. The British authorities responded by imposing martial law and cracking down on both sides. However, this only served to escalate the situation further. The fighting resulted in hundreds of thousands of Palestinian refugees fleeing or being expelled from their homes. During the Islamic Caliphate era, Palestine became an important stop on the pilgrimage route to Mecca known as Hajj. This event, known as the Nakba, or catastrophe in Arabic, marked a turning point in the history of Palestine. This further solidified the region's importance in the Muslim world. This declaration was controversial because it went against the wishes of the majority Arab population who had been living in the region for centuries. These conflicts have resulted in significant loss of life and property and have raised international condemnation. The Gaza Strip and the West Bank are still under Israeli military occupation, and Palestinians continue to face restrictions on their movement, access to resources, and basic freedoms. The current situation has led to a sense of hopelessness and despair among many Palestinians, but there are still those who hope for a better future for their country. Despite these challenges, Palestinians continue to demand an independent state of their own and an end to the Israeli occupation. The Balfour Declaration set the stage for a clash between Jewish and Arab interests in Palestine. They built mosques and madrasas, or religious schools, and appointed Muslim governors to administer the province. This mixing of cultures contributed to the development of a distinct Palestinian identity. If you did, please hit the like button and share this video with your friends. We would also appreciate it if you could leave a comment below with your thoughts or any additional information you might have. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss out on any of our upcoming videos. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video. The ancient land continues to be contested, and the struggle for independence and self-determination continues to be a source of international tension and concern. But what's interesting is that they did completely erase the Jews or their cultural influence from the area, and became a battleground for the Ottoman Empire and the British Empire. As the war drew to a close, the British were victorious and Palestine came under their control. Instead, they allowed them to keep practicing their religion and maintain many of their traditions. This fusion of cultures led to a unique blend of religious and ethnic diversity that continues to shape the region today. The Jewish immigration to Palestine increased dramatically in the early 20th century, and this put a strain on the resources of the region. Additionally, the British authorities favored the Jews over the Arabs, which created resentment and anger among the Arab population. But before we begin, don't forget to subscribe for more amazing videos about countries, and hit the like button if you're excited to explore Palestine with us. Let's start our journey thousands of years ago when the ancient Canaanites settled in the region. Their kingdom stretched from the Mediterranean Sea to the Jordan River, encompassing parts of modern-day Israel, Palestine, Syria, and Lebanon. By the 13th century BCE, the Egyptians, Assyrians, and Romans all ruled over the region at different points in history. During the 1st century BCE, after crushing a Jewish revolt, the Romans renamed the province of Judea to Palestine. The Romans built roads, aqueducts, and other public works throughout the province, which helped to make it a center of trade and commerce. After the fall of the Western Roman Empire in the 5th century CE, the province became part of the Byzantine Eastern Roman Empire. One of the most significant developments during this period was the construction of the Dome of the Rock and the Al-Aqsa Mosque. However, in the 11th century, the Seljuk Turks invaded and conquered Palestine, followed by the Crusaders in the 12th century. In the late 16th century, the Ottoman Empire conquered Palestine, and it became part of their growing domain. However, this tranquility would not last forever. In the early 20th century, the region was caught up in the turmoil of World War I. On November 2, 1917, the British government issued a document known as the Balfour Declaration, which expressed support for the establishment of a national home for the Jewish people in Palestine. The British had hoped that the Jewish and Arab communities could coexist peacefully in Palestine, but tensions soon began to rise. As tensions grew, acts of violence between the Jewish and Arab communities became more common. Finally, on May 14, 1948, just 14 minutes after the British left, the State of Israel was proclaimed in Palestine. Over the course of the next few days, Israel's newly trained army fought against neighboring Arab states that attempted to prevent the new state's creation. This abrupt and dramatic shift in population has had far-reaching consequences for both Israelis and Palestinians. The newly created State of Israel quickly grew in size and power. By 1967, it had expanded to include the Gaza Strip, the West Bank and East Jerusalem, territories that are still occupied today. Over the decades, Israel has faced numerous challenges, including attacks from neighboring countries and terrorist attacks carried out by Palestinian groups. In response, Israel has implemented policies that have been widely criticized by the international community, such as the construction of settlements in the occupied territories and the imposition of a military occupation regime on Palestinians living in those areas. Despite these challenges, Israel has become a thriving democracy with a strong economy and a vibrant cultural scene. On the other hand, Palestinians have lived under military occupation for over 50 years. They have been denied basic human rights and freedoms and subjected to a system of racial segregation and discrimination. Throughout the latter half of the 20th century and the beginning of the 21st century, there have been several major conflicts between Israel and Palestine, including the Six-Day War in 1967, the Yom Kippur War in 1973, the First Intifada, or uprising in 1987, and the Second Intifada, or uprising from 2000 to 2006. These conflicts have resulted in thousands of deaths and injuries, and have left a lasting impact on both Israelis and Palestinians. In recent years, there have been ongoing conflicts in Gaza between Israel and Hamas, the militant group that controls the territory. Today, the situation in Palestine remains complex and challenging. The international community has called for a two-state solution as a way to resolve the conflict, but progress towards this goal has been slow. And so, the story of Palestine continues to be written. We hope you enjoyed learning about the history of Palestine.